My name is Khalid, and I am a sergeant in the United States Army, where I've been working for the past 4 years as a helicopter mechanic. Um, During the past year, while I was assigned as a squad leader in Bravo Company, I have noticed a major communication problem that we have in our workplace. And that communication problem is due to the fact that we have such a diverse um, workplace, and it is focused on the cultural differences between coworkers. And within this presentation today, I will be talking about the cultural awareness within the workplace, and I will try to propose, I will try to explain the objectives of this presentation, which are first, identify verbal and non-verbal communication, discuss the cross-cultural similarities and differences, as well as I will review some differences within select countries and regions. I will propose a solution to the communication problem in hand while developing an action plan to know what is considered to be respectful and acceptable within different cultures. First, let me define the verbal and nonverbal communication. Verbal communication is the use of words to share information between the sender and the receiver, either through spoken communication or written communication. Nonverbal communication, on the other hand, is our messages that are conveyed through body language, hand gestures, or facial expressions, or the physical distance between the receiver and the sender. There are major cultural differences and similarities. First, let's talk about the problems within the differences between the cultures. One of those major problems are perception, which is the tendency of viewing the world through one's eye and not putting yourself in other people's shoes. The second problem is simplification, which is the process of exhibiting the same orientation toward different cultural groups. As a leader, it is not easy to find similarities between cross cultures, so it is always a good idea to ask questions instead of assuming. Um, One thing to keep in mind, process that work and procedures that work at home are not to be adopted at the workplace due to the cultural differences, at least not without modifications. Usually there are far more differences between cultures than there is for similarities. For example, in some certain countries in Asia, they greet each other with bowing, for example. Um, Not like in the US, where a common handshake is very common for greeting each other. In certain Arab countries as well, in the Middle East, hugs are considered to be very friendly and considered to be a normal greeting, as well as handshakes. And I believe in certain countries, in the Gulf countries, around the Gulf area, they greet each other with the nose. Um, Importance of criteria used in evaluation of subordinates that I will discuss within a minute. Uh, First, let me talk about the common problems that we find with associated with the diversity. One of the main problems that are very common to find within a culturally diverse workplace is perception. When culturally diverse groups come together, often it brings preconceived stereotypes, and that leads to misjudgments and often miscommunication between the sender and the receiver, inaccurate biases, as well as mispronunciation, which is a very huge issue. Mispronunciation can as well can lead to the third problem, which is inaccurate communication, and that is a problem that I personally still find myself having difficulty with. I'm more of explaining how to by showing on hand instead of like explaining with words of what the problem is. The advantages of diversity are actually pretty obvious and very useful. Diversity enhances creativity as well as it lead to better decisions within the work group. A, it prevents groupthink and can facilitate high effective teams under the right conditions. Leading a multicultural team can be quite a challenge. For a leader to select team members for task abilities, it is not solely based on ethnicity. Should not be solely based on ethnicity. Team leader must help identify the overall goal for the group members. Mutual respect is a critical thing within the group members as well. Team members must recognize and prepare to deal with their differences. Leaders must give their team positive feedback every once in a while and let them know about the output of the mission or the task. The proposed solution for this problem is attendance of intercultural organization days. Then that takes me actually to one of the ideas that I gave to our company commander. I believe next Thursday we will have an organizational day that would include a small seminar or presentation about cultural differences given by our company commander himself. Also, the second thing, leaders should consider an open door policy to their soldiers and subordinates. Um, Try to find it in their heart to accommodate new opportunities through taking part of their time to understand people's cultures and backgrounds. Train leaders in conflict solving techniques, and that should be the commander's responsibility to do that. One major thing that people should focus on is not to expect everybody to pronounce things the same way that you do. Leaders should also take the time to learn about different cultures and ethnicities. For example, one of the things that I'm suffering with is pronunciation and the ability to think in English instead of thinking in my native language to convey a message. And that is a major issue that we have in our workplace as well. Hopefully, this issue can be solved sooner rather than later. And if not, I have developed a training manual that can be used as well for my fellow coworkers and subordinates as well. Thank you for listening.